All right, so after that absolutely chilling warning from Jacob Marley, we're diving straight into Stave 2. And let me tell you, this is where the real change for Scrooge kicks off. It's not going to happen through a lecture or a scolding. Nope. He's about to be forced on a journey, a trip, right back into the very memories he has spent years trying to bury.
So here's our game plan. We're going to follow the ghost of Christmas past as it uncovers the key moments that forged the cold, hard man Scrooge is today. We're talking everything from his lonely childhood right up to the devastating loss of his one true love.
So, just as Marley promised, Scrooge awakens to his first visitor. But this is no clanking, tormented phantom like his old business partner. Oh no, this spirit is far stranger. And its very appearance is absolutely packed with symbolic meaning that reveals the nature of memory itself.
You can just feel the tension, can't you? The clock strikes 1, what Dickens calls a deep, dull, hollow, melancholy 1. A light flashes in the room, the bed curtains are pulled aside by a hand, and Scrooge finds himself face to face with his guide. So who, or what, is it?
It is, of course, the ghost of Christmas past. And Dickens's description here is just brilliant. It's like a child, yet not so like a child as like an old man. This contradiction perfectly captures how memory works, doesn't it? How the distant past can feel both ancient and incredibly recent all at once. Now, for your exam analysis, the symbolism here is crucial. That bright light streaming from its head, that's truth, that's memory. And that extinguisher cap it's carrying, well, that represents Scrooge's desperate wish to snuff out that light, to erase the very past he's about to be shown.
And the ghost calls him out on it immediately. Scrooge basically asks it to put the cap on, and the ghost replies with this. It's a direct challenge, basically saying, really? You're that desperate to hide from your own history? And right there, Dickens sets up the central conflict for this whole stave, memory versus denial.
And the spirit wastes absolutely no time. With a touch, they pass right through the wall and arrive at the first stop on this tour of the past, Scrooge's old, decaying boarding school, the very place where his loneliness began.
And the power of this memory hits Scrooge instantly. Seeing himself as a solitary child neglected by his friends just cracks his hardened exterior. Dickens tells us he wept to see his poor, forgotten self. I mean, think about that. This is the first time in the entire story that Scrooge feels genuine pity. And it's not for someone else, it's for the little boy he used to be.
And this is it. This is the first crack in his miserly shell. The memory of his own lonely Christmas instantly connects to his cruelty from the day before. It's the very first stirring of regret, the first spark of empathy, and honestly, it's a massive turning point in the entire story.
Now, building on this first tiny crack of emotion, the ghost transports Scrooge from that scene of profound solitude to one of overwhelming community and joy, the Christmas Eve party from his old apprenticeship.
This is where we meet his former master, Old Fezziwig, a man who runs his business with just this infectious generosity. The whole warehouse is transformed into a ballroom, and everyone is invited, family, apprentices, even the housemaid and the milkman. Fezziwig creates a world that is built on community and pure happiness.
Now pay close attention to Scrooge's reaction here. The ghost kind of dismisses the party as a small matter. But Scrooge leaps to Fezziwig's defense. He realizes that a leader's true value isn't about how much money they spend, but about the happiness they create, a power that costs almost nothing, yet is as great as a fortune.
I mean, the contrast Dickens draws here is just unmistakable, isn't it? Fezziwig's warehouse is a place of light and warmth. Scrooge's office is a dismal little cell. Fezziwig invests in his people's happiness, while Scrooge exploits his clerk, Bob Cratchit, and gets angry about him using a single lump of coal.
And there it is again. The memory immediately triggers a connection to his present-day behavior. Seeing Fezziwig's kindness makes him feel a sharp pang of guilt over how terribly he treats Bob Cratchit. You can feel those cracks widening.
But this journey into the past isn't all festive joy. It's about to take a deeply painful turn, revealing the exact moment Scrooge made the choice that would condemn him to a lonely, loveless life.
So the scene shifts. We see a younger Scrooge, now a man in the prime of life, sitting beside his fiancée, a fair young girl named Belle. But she's breaking their engagement, explaining that something else has taken her place in his heart.
Wow, a powerful two-word diagnosis of Scrooge's spiritual sickness.
His love for her has been completely pushed aside by an all-consuming love for money.
Belle releases him from their promise because he's simply not the man she fell in love with anymore. She sees that his master passion, gain, has totally engrossed him. He chose wealth over her, and in doing so, he chose a future of isolation.
But the relentless ghost, as Dickens calls it, isn't finished. It forces Scrooge to witness the direct consequences of his choice, to see the vibrant, love-filled life he deliberately threw away. The ghost shows him Belle, years later, in a room that's full of comfort and the joyous noise of a big family. Scrooge is forced to just stand there and watch the warmth and love that could have been his, a life that might have been, as Dickens puts it, a springtime in the haggard winter of his life.
And this is the final, devastating blow. This single line from a stranger confirms the absolute reality of Scrooge's existence. He's not just alone in his office, he is quite alone in the world. And it is the direct result of choosing that golden idol over Belle.
Overwhelmed by regret and the pain of what he's lost, Scrooge finally fights back. He literally tries to extinguish the truth, wrestling with the spirit and forcing the cap down over its head. But he can't hide the light completely. It streams out from under the cap, showing that the past and its truth can never be fully erased.
Okay, so let's recap the crucial lessons from this journey into Scrooge's past. These are the key takeaways you'll want to remember for your exam.
So what's the bottom line here? Dickens masterfully shows us that Scrooge wasn't just born a monster. He became this way through a series of choices, turning away from community and towards greed. But this stave also proves that change is possible, because it reveals that a better man still exists somewhere deep inside him.
And so the first visitation ends, leaving us with this crucial thought. Scrooge's heart hasn't been magically fixed, not by a long shot, but it has been cracked wide open by regret. This painful journey was absolutely essential. It has made him vulnerable and finally ready for the lessons of Christmas present and Christmas yet to come.